welcome back. Finally, we have the 1979 Pontiac Trans Am back here for an update video. I know you all have been waiting for it, and we're finally going to film it today. So here to talk about it with us, we have, of course, our local mechanic, Allan, to walk us through what he's done so far.
How's it going, guys? Good to be back.
Get to it. All right, so Allan, the car has been gone for quite a while, and everybody has been wanting to see it and see an update video. So where's it been, and what has been done to it?
So it's been at a local shop in Berlin called Hot Rock Garage, Dan Murphy. He did the car for me. We stripped all the rust out of it, so it's rust-free now, except for the radiator support, which I have to buy a new one and put that in. But it's rust-free, and it's now primer black. So this is the undercoating that's on, and then eventually we're going to get it that nice Atlantis blue and put giant, massive birds on it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so if you guys remember from the last video, we had all the stickers on that were peeling and chipping and everything. So this is like your undercoat to keep it from rusting, and then we're going to paint over it, right?
Yep, it just protects the body for right now.
Yeah.
So you'll see like some odd scratches and stuff on it already, but that's just because there's no clear coat on it, there's no protection. I just have this sitting under a tarp right now because I don't have a garage. But hopefully it'll only be black like this for a year or two until I can save up enough bucks to get it painted a nice shiny blue.
But it does match your front bumper now.
It does match the front bumper.
It's all the same color now.
Yes. Yep. And I also put in these nice grill inserts, factory. We had the windshield out of it. They put in all new clips throughout the windshield. We got it resealed so it doesn't leak anymore. This is the same windshield, so I'll probably get a new one whenever I get it painted. But this will do for now.
Yeah,
just to try and save some money. So a lot of the exterior trim is now gone. So I'm just going to start collecting those and getting new trim so we can get it all back on someday. You'll notice the front guards are gone, the wheel flares. They're gone in the back too. So they were pretty much disintegrating. The guy at the shop called me. He was like, yeah, this one pretty much split in half when I touched it. So those are gone, but we'll be saving up for some new ones of those too.
For sure. I can see we still have the classic, snowflake wheels?
The snowflake wheels are still on. The tires are starting to disintegrate a little bit, but that's okay.
We're disintegrating all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks good. I like it in the black. The black looks cool. It looks mean. We also still have the blue interior, which is really cool. The black and the blue, but it will look good back to have it back to the original colors. I love the blue on blue.
Yeah. So they fixed. There was a giant rust spot that was right here. So they took this light out and they fixed that for me. That's all gone. This is all solid metal now. And then if we take a look inside here, there is a massive rust hole right here. And they fixed all this for me. This is all gone. This is all solid metal now. Same with the inside of the door in here in the door jamb. This was all rust on the inside here. So they got rid of all that for me.
So coming around the back of the car, you can see, of course, these really cool taillights. I love how these look, especially with the fin on the back. It's just such a neat look, the Trans Am. And of course, we have our quad exhaust down low. But yeah, I mean, everything body-wise looks really good on this car. You know, it's all clean, it's all painted over, it's all smooth and, you know, together.
Big thing is all the rust is gone. That was the goal with having it sit at the shop for so long. So now that all the rust is gone, I can kind of start to go in and do what I want with the car, i.e. taking the engine out, fixing a lot of the suspension stuff that's broken. Right now the ignition switch doesn't work, so I have to put a new ignition switch in it, new wiper arms because the springs broke, so on and so forth.
But you got a new engine, so tell us about that.
Yes, new engine. It's a 455 cubic inch Pontiac. It's out of a Catalina. I believe it's a 1972 if I ran the numbers correctly. It's a Y5 block, so all the Pontiac gurus out there should be able to tell me what that is when they comment on this video.
Yeah, definitely.
But when I looked that up, it said it made like 250 horsepower and somewhere around 400 pound-feet of torque. So I disassembled the entire engine because I bought it complete. And everything inside looked pretty good, if not just a little sludgy. And then there was one cylinder, it was cylinder 4, that had some scoring in it. So I'm going to send it out to a machine shop and have them hone it out. And we'll probably have to bore it 30 over just to get everything straight and clean. And then they'll sonic check it for me for any cracks or anything like that. And then hopefully once we figure out the block's completely good, we'll build it up from there. And I'm hoping to get somewhere close to north of 400 horsepower and north of 500 pound-feet of torque.
Oh boy, that's going to be great.
So I will be saving for a new transmission, new drive shaft, and new rear end.
Yes, we're going to need some new
don't worry.
Drive
I know this stuff won't hold up to that much power.
Yeah, well, speaking of engine, for anyone who hasn't seen the original video, which you should go check out, let's talk about the engine we have in here right now, the original engine.
The original Pontiac 301. So a new system has emerged for opening the hood of this vehicle. It's gotten a lot harder.
Let's talk through that.
The wire cable I had from the previous video has since disintegrated because it sat at a shop for a year, and I now have to crawl under the car and maneuver the latch manually.
We'll let Allan do that.
Could you just get the top there, Rick?
Just lift it up?
Yeah, just lift it.
Heavy hood. All right, so under the hood we have the original factory mighty 301 Pontiac engine. And speaking of which, this car comes with a handling package, right? So it's a 301 with what handling package is
with
it?
The WS6 performance package.
Okay, so 301 WS6 handling package and a manual, which makes it a pretty rare combination.
In 1979, it was the first Trans Am you could get with rear disc brakes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, while we have the hood open, what are some of the stuff we see under here?
So some of the things that could change in the future are, this carburetor. It's seen better days. It's starting to leak fuel everywhere, and that's dangerous. So we may end up doing something about that. Also, this fuel line, after years of sitting, has kinked, and this thing pretty much runs out of gas at 3,000 RPM and stops going forward. So we got to fix that. A couple of improvements that I've made is some new hood hinges, so it's easier to get under the hood to work on it. I've also installed a new power steering pump. You'll note all the dust that's on here. That's from the body shop. I haven't had a chance to clean this all off, but this is a brand new pump that works really well, actually. That's courtesy of Firebird Central. And then I got a new Optima battery. This is probably the best battery you can get. Really good. It doesn't have the same problem that the old one had, where it wouldn't be able to crank the motor over after it had been running for a long time because it was so hot.
That, yeah.
So this one doesn't do that. It's a big improvement over the old one. And obviously, the radiator's still held in with zip ties. So I change them out every 6 months in case they dry rot or something like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not the best system to hold your radiator in.
Don't try this at home, kids.
It is totally roadkill, but this is a totally roadkill kind of car. So one of the things that I want to do to the front of this car is there's a lot of rust still present under here. So I have to get a whole new radiator support for the car, which can be kind of expensive, but that's what's got to be done just to eliminate the rest of the rust on the car. So some of the things that I'm going to be doing when the engine comes out, some people are going to like this, some people aren't. All the AC is coming out. I don't want it. It's junk. I don't need it. I only drive the car part-time, and it's just added weight that I don't want. So all that's coming out. There's actually still a condenser in here that I have to take out as well. So all that's coming out.
You gonna mount the hood scoop to the actual engine?
I may or may not mount the hood scoop to the engine. Okay. I think that would be cool because it'll give it kind of like that shaker look.
I mean, it still shakes with the hood flex, but it's not shaking with the engine.
Right. Yeah. So another thing that happened when the car was sitting for about a year is more rust. More rust means stuff breaks. Yeah. The exhaust fell off. Right now, this car is dumped from this side, but there's still an exhaust system on that side of the engine. So it has sort of a unique and loud and raspy and bubbly kind of sound.
It sounds like a pod racer, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing. But yeah, definitely something we're going to work on.
Yeah. Still a lot of work to be done, but from the outside, there's been some progress.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, let's move on to the inside then.
The other major development we had when the car was at the shop was there used to be huge holes in the floor.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
That has been solved. They ordered new floor pans for me. They cut out the old ones, and they Zeused in some brand new floor pans. So those are black, and the whole car is undercoated to prevent any sort of rust from coming back. We don't have to Fred Flintstone stop the car or worried about
driving in the rain was interesting.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about our tetanus shots or
that too.
Any of that.
Yeah, well, we also have no roof liner right now, so no sound insulation.
Yes.
It
is like driving a tin can, and we're probably going to have trouble in recording this video because it is so loud.
You'll see. Look forward to it. But otherwise, the seats look in good shape. We don't have any rear seats in it right now, so it's a drag race.
It's an all-out race car.
All right, so that covers most of the exterior of the car. We got all the primer over the paint and all the rust fixed up, as well as the holes in the floors finally gone. If you want to see more details about the overall car and everything that came with it, be sure to go check out part 1 of this video. But with all of that said, let's take it for a drive. Safety first, everyone.
Seatbelts haven't gotten any better. I drove this car home in the dark with no lights, no windshield, and no GPS. It was not fun.
Okay, I have not driven this car in some time, so here we go.
So one of the other things that they did at the shop that was a pretty big deal was they replaced all the body mounts. Before they had done that, putting the car in the air was kind of a challenge because you were scared that the body mounts were going to break and then the body might fall off the car.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, some bad stuff might happen. So they replaced all of them but the ones by the rad support because I told them I was going to replace the rad support. The car feels a lot more sturdy now. You trust it going around corners. You trust it going over bumps. The tire rub is completely fixed.
Yes, that is
so
good.
Yeah, some major improvements in terms of the drivability because now we have power steering.
Power steering works great.
We have a cooling system that functions properly. We have an engine that runs on 8 cylinders all the time. So we're doing good. The other funny part is I have a sun visor and Eric does not.
Yeah. So it's under the radar.
Yes.
It's like no one even knows it's
It's like a Batmobile.
Oh wow! The pops are just ridiculous. Oh man, like this is just off throttle, and it's just
Verbally. I should mention that it's totally not healthy for the engine at this point. But it's too cold to fix it.
It's really cold right now. We're only at 1500 RPM right now, and it's just...
Yeah, the drone, especially with no sound insulation in the floors, is really bad.
Yeah.
But I do intend on installing a kit that should assist with that. It is everything that exemplifies Americana.
Yes.
It is a long 2-door coupe with a massive V8 up front. Well, massive by today's standards. A manual transmission.
Yeah, it's great. It's a manual.
Yeah. So for those kids out there who don't really associate engines with cubic inches, 455 cubic inches is 7.4 liters. So if you can find an engine today that's larger than 7.4 liters, you let me know. The only one I can think of is the Bugatti.
Yeah, that's still the biggest one.
And maybe one by Rolls-Royce or something. Pipe on the passenger side, it goes manifold to the ground. Suffice to say, most Karens do not appreciate it.
No, you are a menace to society.
I am a menace to society.
Like, you're disrupting the peace wherever you go. I'm not even going that fast. That's like touching the throttle.
Yeah, currently we're only going 45 miles per hour.
How accurate is this speedometer?
It's about 5 mile an hour slow.
Okay.
So I have a lot coming for the interior right now.
Nice.
I have all new headliner and trim. I got a new badge for the radial tune suspension.
Oh yes, that goes right in front of you.
I also got a new door handle to fix the window crank that doesn't work because there's no knob on it. You have to like manually kind of like fight with the window.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah, there's sound insulation that I got, and I'm gonna see if I can get these seats reupholstered and fixed. Impressive little engine. It just keeps on chugging along. I think we're coming up on 97,000 miles.
Oh wow.
So and geez, just going over those bumps just now, you don't feel the car like shifting and rattling.
Oh no, I mean, no, it stays steady.
Don't get me wrong, there's still rattles, but that's only because there's no headliner or
it's
sound.
It's loud and everything, but it's not like you're like, oh, you're fine. And it's not hard. That's fourth gear going up a hill and it's fine.
How was the handling?
It was good. Honestly, it was solid. It's not like you feel like you're gonna, oversteer every time you turn. It's actually pretty flexible ride.
I have a new front sway bar that I want to install, along with new rear shocks. So those are going to be going in at some point too.
Nice. Yeah, that'll help.
I wouldn't say this turns heads in the same way that the Corvette does.
It's a different crowd.
It's a different crowd that is drawn to this car. It's strange because you think of them as from the same era, but really the Vet is 13 years older than this car.
Yeah.
This was kind of the last of its kind, or that true car that was survived through the whole muscle car era.
Yeah.
Just as much fuel as it always has.
What a car. I'm in Mad Max in this thing.
Yeah. It's funny because it's not fast, and I know we've mentioned that before, but there's a vibe to it with the sound, the engagement of having a manual transmission.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And then just the fact that you're in a classic car.
Yeah, you get that feel of it. I don't know.
Yeah, you just feel. Yeah, I don't know. There's like a high to it where you're just like, yeah, man. I don't care if this thing's slow. It's automatically cooler than whatever you have.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is one of those body styles that even if it's beat up and kind of destroyed and shady looking, it's still cool.
Yeah, I agree.
You can have all kinds of things wrong with it, like this one. The radio doesn't work anymore, the blower motor doesn't work anymore. Stuff's like kind of falling apart, the interior's disintegrating. It's still cool. You just can't get around it, and like
it's just
yeah, it's all about. I mean, if you want a miles per gallon ratio, this one is near the top.
Yeah.
The only car I've ever driven that's probably close is the Corvette and a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. So there's obviously a lot of work that still needs to be done to it. Just to name a few things, we're putting a new ignition switch in it. We're getting all new soundproofing in the floors, the new headliner, obviously. It's getting new wiper arms. It's getting, I have a ton of parts for it.
Do you have any plans on getting maybe a higher speed, like more than 4 speeds? Because I know if you get a new engine, well, we have the new engine, you're going to be getting, new drivetrain and everything.
Yeah.
Are you planning on maybe getting a 5-speed or a 6-speed or something?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's in the plans. This is I believe, Saginaw 4-speed, which is not known for being able to handle big torque. So at some point, I want to see if we can get a better transmission, like a 6-speed. I know American Powertrain has a couple.
Because I know these ratios aren't really highway friendly.
Yeah, this car at 60 miles an hour is at like 3,000 RPM, maybe like 3,200 RPM.
Okay.
It's not exactly. You feel like it needs another gear or two. And I'm not sure what kind of gear I'm going to run in the rear yet. This is going to be kind of like a street strip type deal.
Yeah.
So I might go with like 373s. I think 410s would be a little too crazy. I think in terms of drivability, this car is really easy to drive.
It is, yeah. I haven't driven this car since it went away to the shop, and I hopped right in and fine.
Yeah, and I mean, you take a look at it from the outside, you see a small windshield, a really long hood, and you're like, man, this thing's probably impossible to drive. It's really not.
No,
You know, the seating position is perfect. You can see right out over the hood. You know where everything is.
Yeah.
The steering has a really nice, it's got kind of a muscle car weighted feel to it, but it's not like it's heavy. I mean, it's just, you get good feedback. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a drag link steering setup, so it's, you know, it's nothing like modern cars, but for the time, I think it's pretty good.
It's gonna look so nice when you get the paint redone. When you get the nice engine in there. It's gonna be
Yes. Yes. My fiance Jace is gearing up to get the Firebird painted on there. We're looking at picking out some stencils and stuff, stencil kits.
Yeah, you're not going with stickers.
No,
Sticker set.
we don't want to do the stickers. I would like to do an actual painted on the hood Firebird.
Sounds
So
good.
we'll get it painted. She'll paint the birds and decals on it, and then I'll get it clear coat. All right, so there we have it, guys. Finally, a progress report on the Trans Am. This car is not going anywhere. We still have lots of work to do, and Allan will continue to update us with everything he has going on. Right, Allan?
Yes.
All right, so with that said, stay tuned. We will have more Trans Am on the channel in the coming future. Thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all later.
All right, move. Let's go.
All right, so that's pretty much all of the exterior stuff. You know, we got the primer on it. We got a lot of the rust fixed. The interior's looking, well, no, the interior isn't looking better. Hold on. We do still have seatbelts. They are still present.